Before starting this course on career counseling, it is extremely important to understand why you should take your career choice seriously. In this video, we will help you understand the importance of making the right career choice for yourself. So, why is your career choice so important? It is important because it determines a lot of things in your life, including number 1, quality of life. Your career choice plays a huge role in deciding where you live, how flexible your life is, and the kinds of things you are able to do in your free time. Number 2, identity. Ask any elder person about their career and they will tell you about it as a part of their identity. They'll say something like, I am a journalist, instead of, I report news. Notice how everybody asks you, what do you want to be when you grow up? And not, what do you want to do when you grow up? This shows that your career choice shapes your identity. Number 3, impact. Every human life touches thousands of other lives in so many different ways. If you select any 60-year-old person who is about to retire, take a time machine, find him as an infant, throw that infant into trash, and then come back to the present day, you'll find that a countless number of things around you have changed. So whatever career you choose, the world will be affected by it. Anything that determines your quality of life, your identity, and the impact that you make should be taken very seriously. And that includes your career choice also. So we hope that this short video could help you understand the importance of making the right career choice. Having done that, we will now move forward to start our career counseling course. We are pretty excited and we hope you are too. So let's begin. See you.
वेलकम एवरीबॉडी, सबको स्वागत है. वेलकम टू डे 36 ऑफ प्रोबनोज लाइव पॉडकास्ट. आज बहुत ही एक्साइटिंग है. वी गेट टू टॉक अबाउट स्पोर्ट्स. वी गेट टू टॉक स्पेसिफिकली अबाउट फुटबॉल. मैं तो बहुत एक्साइटेड हूँ. आदित्य मस्ट ऑल्सो बी. सो फर्स्टली सारे ऑडियंस मेम्बर को स्वागत है. वेलकम टू द पॉडकास्ट. एंड ऑफ कोर्स आदित्य, मिस्टर सेन, एंड आवर गेस्ट फॉर टुडे वरुण चोपड़ा जी एंड राघव सूद. दोनों को वेलकम. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर टेकिंग टाइम टू टॉक विद अस. So guys, मैं इंट्रोड्यूस कर देता हूँ. Varun is the all-powerful force behind the sports company, a UEFA licensed coach. He strongly believes that the difference between the impossible lies in determination. Sports have an immense importance in his life. Formerly a pacey winger who represented the Indian football team at various youth levels, he believes in hard work as the prime solvent of life's problems. Varun's passion and sports and what it can do to empower individuals led him to foresee the sports company. Raghav, who a civil engineer by education, is a leader on and off the field. He is the backbone and is loved by students and coaches alike. A fierce Liverpool fan, wape we may disagree. With Raghav on your side, you will truly never walk alone. By the way, that's Liverpool's motto. You will never walk alone. He is the general secretary of the company's Dream Team FC and runs the show from behind the scenes. A more than handy player himself, the way he works is the way he plays. He gives his heart out to ensure that whoever is there on the field against him bows down to respect the sports company. Again, thank you so much for spending time with us and talking to us. So firstly, Varun and Raghav ji, if you could introduce yourself. मैंने जो बोला उसके अलावा. So firstly, Varun ji, up.
So thank you for that introduction. Thank you to you and Aditya and Mr. Sen for this. Thank you very much. ProBano is doing phenomenally brilliant at what they are set out to embark. So we're very happy to be here. So we have a very simple introduction for ourselves. We are the storytellers in the world of sports, and we are writing the greatest sports story India's ever seen. That's the vision that drives us. We are looking at getting talent from the streets onto the mainstream. A lot of us do not get the right platform. A lot of us do not get the right mentorship. A lot of us do not get the right guidance. And this is where the sports company intends to make a difference. That's the idea behind the sports company.
Great. And राघव जी आप अगर इंट्रोड्यूस कर सके.
So I very briefly, just to add on to what Sir said, one thing that we really want to focus on is that we want to, take that extra mile, to reach out to the people who are actually needing or require, this help. So we want to reach out to them so that we can find out the most inspiring story that ideally it should not have been there, but then with the efforts, with the extra mile, we do want to reach out to everyone and we want to help them. So yeah.
So the sports company.
Yeah.
So आपका journey कैसा रहा? Both of your journey to the point where you are right now, and sports company we've actually once collab with them, tried to get your tournament out there for kids through social media. So how has your journey been from आपके बचपन से लेके the passion for football obviously shows with your profession that is now. So how has your journey been to the point where you are? Firstly, Raghav, to start off with you.
So when I started as a kid, I used to play lawn tennis, and initially I never liked football because there were 40 kids running after one ball, and I was never a hardworking kid. And tennis, slowly I started liking it. Played it for 3 years in the school, and then because there were not many tournaments, as is the case with a lot of sports in India, shifted to football. My coach said that I'm tall, so I should be trying as a keeper. Then I went on to play as center back, and then I started watching football also at the same time. So I like this player called Steven Gerrard. So, and that's when I started idolizing the position he used to play, and I like to pick up things from the people who I really admire, and you can call it that I copy stuff, but I think it's a good way to pick up the good stuff and then take it on and play. So since then I've been playing at the school level, at the college level, and I've played at my favorite position, that's the center mid, controlling everything. That's what I like to do, and not doing the dirty work. So yeah, and then since when I finished college, I had this opportunity. I was coaching kids in a school near to my place, and that was like for just a temporary basis, and I was doing that for 6 months, and then that's when I met Varun sir, and he told me, I spoke to him, and we kind of had a good chat again in a training session in the sun at around 3:30. We spoke to each other and we said that what all we could do. So I wanted to try it. Obviously my parents were not up for it, coming from the educational background. I had already done my civil engineering. I had a placement from the college, and that's what a lot of us would have done in any other scenario. And when sir and I had this chat, so I was like, okay, I have to try this excites me, and I do not want to go out and be on the roads, constructing roads or buildings in the sun and all that stuff. So that's just what my thought was. So I spoke to my parents. Sir would like to enlighten as to what happened after that, and he had come down to my place. He met my parents, and then we decided that we'll give it a shot. And it started with a 1 year period, and when we worked hard, and but still after 1 year there was still some hesitance from my parents that they wanted me to do MBA and all that stuff. I did give my CAT exams, and obviously I did not score well, but then by that time I was very sure that I have to do this, and this is something that I have to achieve, because that'll be something that I've created on my own, just like Steven Gerrard winning the Champions League trophy for Liverpool. So all these things have inspired us. It's not just for me. I think it's for everyone at the sports company, we have taken inspiration from real life stories and, wanted to, be like them and do something of that magnitude. So, yeah.
वरुण जी आपका स्टोरी?
सर मेरी स्टोरी थोड़ी फिल्मी है, आपको मजा आएगा सुनने में. I started my career at the age of 30, and I come from a patriarchal North Indian Punjabi family, wherein the rule of the thumb of the father is enough. Father Saab said, do this, G. Father Saab said, do this, G. I was working in the family business of export of ready-to-eat Indian meals to Europe, along with the fact that we were in the process of acquiring a hotel in Shirdi, and I was supposed to kind of take over that. So I was leading a life which was getting up at 10 o'clock, going to the office at 11, coming back by 5, going to the gym for 2 to 3 hours, and that's it. So before this, my life was extremely interesting. I'm from a school called Mount St. Mary's, and I did brilliantly well there in sports for sure. I would just play and play every single day and play all sports, all sports. My guide was Shri Ranjit Thapa. He was part of the Indian national football team. Brilliant player in his day, brilliant coach. So he guided me, play for the school, state, and so on. And enter college, थोड़ा सा जोश आ गया. तो एक दिन एक ऐसा समय आया कि किसी फ्रेंड ने बोला बाइक रेसिंग करें. कहा ठीक है, बाइक रेसिंग करते हैं दोस्त. बाइक रेसिंग करी, और उसके बाद रिजल्ट ये था कि एक ऐसा मैसिव एक्सीडेंट हुआ wherein I busted my knee and I couldn't play forward. Took time and rewind back to my life wherein from age of 21 up till 30 I was part of the family business, and I gave up sports, which kind of lived through me, and had the good fortune of marrying a good woman who drilled some sense into me, started sorting out my life slowly and slowly. And incidentally, there was this turning point at the age of 30. My nephew enrolled to play in a league called DIFL, Delhi International Football League, a very popular league. And my sister-in-law gave me a call and said, "You're the only one who has enough experience of playing. Why don't you coach?" I said, "I've never coached 5-year-olds, never done that." She said, "Perfect. So this is the right platform for you. Try it." I did. I was like tasting blood. And it was a great moment. Parents were very appreciative, very supportive. They started asking, "Where do you coach?" and blah, and blah, and blah. So I told them that I will get back to you. I'm not in the process of coaching full time, but I will get back to you. So me and my wife, Gitika, we spoke to each other about this. And I mustered courage to go in front of my father and said that, "You know what? I'd like to start a sports company wherein I coach youngsters." So again, patriarchal Punjabi family. And my father said, "तूने सर बनना है? तू सर बन के क्या कर लेगा जो हम नहीं कर पाए?" Maybe I'd like to give it a try if I can. Somehow he did not take that kindly. And I did start the sports company. I started coaching kids. But in the process, my father gave me a dictum that please get out of my house, which I did. And it's been 7 years that sadly we've not spoken to each other. I wish them all the very best, and I'm grateful to the Almighty for such loving parents because they gave me the best platform they could. I had a great education, a great start to my life. And the sports company was started. We sold off my wife's jewelry to start the company. whatever resources we could muster. She was my first manager. She would sit on the field and cut receipts for people who would come by to train. And we marched on. And very soon we met this lovely young man. And he's supposedly, and I say this very proudly, that for me and my wife, he's our firstborn son. He takes care of everything. And that's how we started. This is the story of the sports company. And it's been an interesting ride. God has been very kind to us. Today, we started off as a grassroots training company. Today, we do school team management. We do school sports management. We do, placement of international athletes across players and coaches. We are doing corporate events, corporate sports events. We own a professional football team called the Dream Team that is playing in the Delhi League. And we have ambitions to take it to the I-League stages, because for us, I-League is the true romance of football, to be very honest. And business sense says, then we take it to ISL. That's the idea. So this is my story in bits and pieces up till now.
ग्रेट. आदित्य ने मुझे पर्सनली मैसेज किया है कि आई वांट द फर्स्ट 2 क्वेश्चंस, तो मैं ब्रेक नहीं करने वाला. आई वोंट ब्रेक हिज हार्ट. सो आदित्य, योर 2 क्वेश्चंस.
Thank you so much, Saman, for leaking the information. That's why I did it on WhatsApp, man. But thank you so much. And thank you so much to Varun sir and Raghav sir to be here with us. It's an amazing experience, and I'm pretty sure that we'll get to learn a lot. So you described your experience, and always this question comes to our mind that and a lot of students ask us also that if I have to convince my parents for something which is unusual, something like sports or arts or maybe even entrepreneurship, how do I do that? And especially if the student is from a rural area where it's assumed that the parents might be of a very orthodox mindset. How to convince them? Like, what's your take on that? Because you have already treaded that path.
Aditya, with honesty is my answer, because there is no substitute to honesty. The end result is a different matter altogether. I'll give you Raghav's example here. तो राघव को जब 1 साल का पीरियड खत्म होने को आया और राघव पे प्रेशर था कि he has to do well in his CAT exam, उसने बकायदा as a dutiful son वो चीज पूरी करी. But his heart was the sports company, is the sports company, will be the sports company. And his meteoric rise from an assistant coach to the CEO of the company speaks volumes of the hard work that this boy has done, right? So there was a time wherein Raghav was burdening himself with pressure, and he would not tell me because he does not like to burden me with pressure. He takes the pressure off me. That's the kind of partnership we have. So he somehow would not, and I sensed. I spoke to him. I took him out for dinner. We had a great dinner, great conversation. And in the end, I just told him, what would you like to do? बड़ा simple question था और बहुत simple सा answer था उसका. The sports company. I said, that's all you have to do. Go in front of your father and mother. Respectfully tell them. I am very sure they will understand you. ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई भी माँ बाप अपने बच्चे को नहीं समझते. समय लगता है. Probably for me, it's going to be some years. For others, it might not be that. And he did exactly that. He sat down with his parents, told them the right things, told them the honest things. And here we are today. All you have to do is back it up logically, that whatever you're going to be doing has some sense to it. Ask for a limited time period to prove yourself. Work even harder in that period to show people that that process works. The result does not matter. The process matters for us. The result will come. 100%.
Aditya?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you can also refer to the Three Idiots wala scene. Shankar Mahadevan going up to his parents. So it's something like that. So the whole point is that if you put it up with all the honesty and with all the heart in it, and if you believe it, because if you completely believe it, that reciprocates, and that goes on to the other people also, and they also feel it. So that's, I think, very important.
कामयाबी झक मार के आती है ना राघव?
आपकी कामयाबी कब झक मार के आई? बहुत टाइम लगा या फिर थोड़ा जल्दी हो गई चीजें?
Aditya, we have not really achieved what we have set out to be. We are very ambitious. We are so ambitious that we think of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as our partner in the times to come, to be very honest.
Wow.
So that is our ambition. We are talking about a global ambition. And we've always been, again, so Raghav and my wife Gitika are the sounding boards for me. And बहुत simple example देता हूँ तो ambition के बारे में. तो एक समय आया जब राघव ने बोला कि I wish we had our own football club to run. उस टाइम तक हम सिर्फ प्लेसमेंट करते थे प्लेयर्स की आई लीग में, आई लीग 2 में, ISL में. एंड I said ठीक है, let me think about it. So I called up a couple of people I knew in the Delhi league and said that, sir, मैं एक फुटबॉल क्लब खरीदना चाहता हूँ. So they said that ऐसे तो फिलहाल कुछ अवेलेबल नहीं है, कुछ होगा तो आपको बताएंगे. ठीक है सर. 3 दिन बाद एक कॉल आता है, मैं और राघव जाते हैं तो हमें बताया जाता है कि एक साहब हैं जो अपना क्लब बेचना चाहते हैं, बट बहुत पैसे मांग रहे हैं. मैं सर बेचना चाहते हैं ना, कोई प्रॉब्लम, हम खरीदना चाहते हैं क्योंकि मेरे लिए ये है कि फॉर मी माय फैमिली मैटर्स द मोस्ट, एंड इफ Gitika or Raghav say anything, it has to be done for me. It's like that. And we met the gentleman. He quoted a humongous figure. Humongous. There was no backbone to that figure. अब मेरे साथ एक और issue है that I respect the individual no matter what. मैं सब्जी तरकारी का भाव ताव नहीं करता. I'm sure with the kind of behavior I kind of execute, I still live in the old school thought that we are all gentlemen, we're men of our words. So I just asked the gentleman that, sir, do you think this price that you're asking for the club is fair? And he said yes, bilkul. I said, ठीक है sir, I will come back to you in 7 days. 7 दिन. अब राघव तो as usual being the practical one, he's saying कि आप क्या कर रहे हो, क्या कर रहे हो. So the amount, by the way, I would want to tell you, I will not give the name of the club that we bought, but I'll tell you the amount. It was 14 lakh rupees. And Raghav said ki, you are silly. I said, yes, I am, but I'd rather get this club for you. So it's like that. So 6 दिन निकल गए पाई जोड़ते हुए कि जी कहाँ से लेंगे, hand to mouth company.
That's a lot of amount, yeah.
Yes, it is. Fortunately, I spoke to someone in the market. So I have taken a loan of 14 lakh rupees from the market to date, which I try and pay it off. And we bought the club, which is now known as the Dream Team.
Amazing.
That's how we are. So the ambitions are like that. You say it, we will do it. At the end of the day, you've got to do what your heart says. That's what we feel. We are a passion-driven company. हमें अगर दिमाग कहीं है तो यहाँ है. We think from here.
It's really amazing. Raghav, would you want to add something to it? Like, what did you say? Because he said you said he's silly. So, did you really say that, or he's?
He keeps on saying that. He keeps on saying that.
This is one of the biggest examples. There are a lot of small examples also. Ki, when we are like pitching in for a project, pitching in for a coach, getting some people on board, yeah, even buying the office inventory and all that stuff. So he's like, no, kharch do, ye kar do, aur kar do. And so there was another example to add on to this is that we have 1 floor in a building in Shahpurjat. So upar ek room mil raha tha, and I had gone for a vacation. So I come back the next day. He tells me that we are buying up that place. I was like, what's wrong with you? We don't need it. And so he was like, nahi, maine sab kuch final kar diya hai. So then I asked him that, have you told Gitika ma'am? So कह रहे नहीं. तो मैंने कहा कब बताओगे? तो he was like कि 3 दिन बाद मैंने हवन रखा हुआ है ऑफिस में, उसी दिन बता दो. मैंने कहा so he's like that. So it's like we all carry a lot of things right from the day we were born and till the time
So,
we live. So we carry a lot of things, and that's how we react and behave in different situations. So he's like that.
so Aditya, uske piche bhi ek story hai. The thing is that, of course, there are people who have much harder struggles than me, and I respect all of them. But I have had my own struggles, and when I was starting the sports company, I always wanted to do things right, and I wanted to do the coaching life. जनवरी के मंथ में 2012 में मुझे पता चला कि दिसंबर 2012 में कोर्स होगा. अभी तो काफी स्ट्रीमलाइन कोर्सेज आते हैं एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट, बट उस टाइम पे नहीं था. So someone suggested, probably in jest or mocking me, कि इतने तेरे को शौक है तो इंग्लैंड चला जा. चले जाते. So I wrote to the FA. The FA was not taking international students full time there. They said that if you have this kind of ability to come again and again for the course duration, all right, we'd be happy to take you in. I applied. I got through the county of Manchester. I sold every single piece of my wife's jewelry to fund my airfare, my stay. So, काफी tough होता था. Again, I'm saying this, a lot of people have had far more harder struggles than me, and I respect. But my struggle was hard enough for me, all right, because I came from a position of privilege. I had not seen days like that. And I would pass the whole day by just eating one apple because I had to save money, right? And that's the day I decided that whatever I'm passing through now, I will ensure that my family never passes. So the reason behind this opulence is this, that तुम लोग genuinely अपने मुंह से बोलो और वो चीज मैं पूरी करके दूंगा. How I do it is my business. You don't worry about it.
Wow.
That's the thought process.
And that get it done attitude, I think, is really nice on your part, sir. Like, that's why I think TSC is, progressing by the day. So now, when I mentioned TSC, I would really want to know, like, there are two connected questions I want to ask, and you can answer singularly or, in both
Sure.
layers. So, I really want to know about, for the benefit of our audience, the careers in sports and about TSC, because I think you are also helping many people, fulfill their career dreams in sports. So what are the careers in sports management, sports coaching, or sports playing that you are helping fulfill? And how do the people who are young enough, like in 11th, 12th, or in college, how can they go ahead with that?
So I think me and Raghav both will answer the question. How we are kind of going about it is that if there is someone in a better position than us to kind of give exposure to the student or someone who wants a job, we're happy to facilitate that. We work very closely with the Cardiff Metropolitan University, wherein we send students abroad for their sports education, sports analytics, physiotherapy and all, because the kind of education-backed experience that you get there, sadly, India is yet to kind of achieve that. And that's one way. The next is that we, of course, at the sports company, give the students an internship period of 6 months, because at least then they can get to have a semblance of how processes are. 1 month or 2 month or 3 month ki internships, mat dekhiye. Look for 6 month internships. I understand money is a huge motivator, but please look at the scope of work is what I will tell the students. Instead of the money bit, money will come. It will come. If you're hardworking, you're honest, you're diligent, you keep the company at the forefront in lieu of your own views, anyone will pick you up. It's like that. Raghav, anything to add to that?
I think briefly what we look, obviously Cardiff University is one aspect wherein we help out kids. But the other aspect is that we look for characters when people come to us for internships and jobs. We do not want to go by people who have, scored 90% marks or done their MBA from a good college or have played football at the highest level. So we need those characters who think out of the box and who are, achievers. They want to get things done at any cost. So, we just look at that, even though, some of them are not even, given the respect by their friends and family and all that stuff. But then, we give them that respect that, okay, create something on your own and help us grow. So that makes it easy for them. That makes it easy for us also.
Great, guys. So one thing that was circling my mind, and there was a question by Pushkar Das as well. What inspired you both to transition from playing the sports to managing it? Or management mein one biggest part is being a coach, on ground coach, or interacting with the players themselves. So I guess I would ask my question would be, how important is a coach in anyone's life? Like specifically, probably we are talking about sports. लेकिन how important is a coach in anyone's life?
दोस्त गुरु होता है. ये चीज मैं बचपन में भी समझा था और अब समझा हूँ, because a coach is the central figure in your life. If you've got the right coach, and let me tell you, there's no wrong coach. So गुरु हमेशा सही होता है, तरीका गलत हो सकता है या सही हो सकता है. It's your perspective and how you kind of take in the learning. So आजकल Netflix पे एक बहुत शानदार सीरीज चल रही है, The Last Dance. I've been watching it. I'm sure a lot of people would be watching it. So Michael Jordan, one of the greatest athletes ever to have graced the game. Phil Jackson was the central figure in his life. A lot of kids nowadays are very easily influenced. That is the wrong thing. You need to have the right influence at the right time for the right result. So coaches need to be very careful about what they say, what they do, what they emote in today's time, because kids invariably, in their innocence, just lap it up. So pehle zamane mein, when it was the rule of the stick, that was a different era altogether. But today, how do you calm down a rowdy person? How do you explain to a bullish child that his or her behavior will affect the team dynamics? How do you get the team together when the scope of practice is limited due to external reasons like, oh, आज धूप बहुत है, आज ट्रेनिंग पे मत जाओ, काले हो जाओगे. आज बारिश हो रही है, मत जाओ, गिर जाओगे, लग जाएगी. I am sure that all of us have not heard of this, because हमारे टाइम पे तो आप please get out of the house, go play, it's like that. But sadly, today's times are a little different. I'm not blaming the times. The times today are different because of the times we live in. But then again, the coach has to be intelligent enough to understand and read the situation better. That's what I'd say. Be it a business coach, be it a life coach, be it a sport coach, it's about reading the situation and the application as per that situation. Because there's one dictum at the sports company that me and Raghav follow. Everything is right, everything is wrong, nothing is right, nothing is wrong. It's the situation that matters. It's a situational play, technically.
And Raghav, your take on this?
I think Raghav
आप हमारे साथ हो? I think कुछ network issue है. Either way, वैसे मेरा next question may hit Raghav a bit close to home. I was gonna bring up Liverpool, but lucky for him, I guess. Network
No,
issue.
he's very passionate about answering everything to do with Liverpool. So you can hold on to that question, and we'll wait for Raghav to come back on. And I think he's right there as we speak. Raghav,
आप हमारे साथ हो?
for a bit.
Yeah.
Right. So आपका take क्या होगा? Like the whole the importance of a guide or a coach in someone's life.
See, coach, I feel that there is not just a single coach. There are a lot of things to be learned from a lot of important people in anybody's life. And coach, he like I don't know how to put it, but he has to feel what his you know uh, kid is, or whatever the child is feeling, and accordingly guide him, and then also give him the right direction, and give him the right path to where he has to choose, like make him capable enough to choose the right path. Obviously kid can, and nobody, when that child grows up, he'll never be in anybody's control, but tomorrow the main thing that anybody carries from their childhood is that the ability to choose what is wrong and what is right. So that somehow a coach has to give, whether it's the parents, whether it's the teacher, whether it's the football coach, or anybody. So I would like to look at a coach from this point of view, and not just a football coach or any other sport specific coach.
So now nothing is right, nothing is wrong, everything is right, everything is wrong.
Right. थोड़ा gives me Assassin's Creed वाला motto vibes. Nothing is wrong, everything is permitted.
True.
So keeping in trend with the current situation, जो कि coronavirus है, obviously sports has been like the first thing to hit everybody. I mean, keep paying respect to the lives lost and the people affected. But talking about sports, like treating this as its own thing, sports has been affected. तो पहले राघव obviously लिवरपूल का टाइटल होल्ड पे आ गया. Me as a Man U fan थोड़ा happy हूँ, but obviously we all do miss sports, football, tennis, whatever, any sport that you watch, definitely. So how are you guys coping up with the situation? How is sports company dealing with it? And Raghav, you personally, आप कैसे deal कर रहे हो with the title hold?
Before
Yeah,
Raghav answers, I want to give this input. Please remember that the greatest club on this planet is AC Milan, and the greatest football player is Paolo Maldini. That's it. Sorry, Raghav, carry on.
See, चैंपियन तो जरूरी नहीं है कि ट्रॉफी मिलने से ही बनते हैं, but somewhere down in the heart, you and a lot of other Man United fans also know कि Liverpool are the champions. So I would like to end it there. So ठीक है, whatever happens, we'll see. But
and they deserve it because they've played brilliantly through the season. And if you look at it from a perspective of a sports fan, not a particular club fan, I'm sure you'll appreciate the play, the vibe, the passion with which Liverpool has come from not being, sadly, in the top at one point in time to be title contenders regularly. So we got to give it to that. And Raghav, I think, put it beautifully that for a champion to be acclaimed champion, you don't need the trophies. So I agree with him on that.
And as much as it hurts to say this, Liverpool definitely deserve the title.
Well done to you. Well done to all Manchester United fans for doing what you just did. God bless you. That is sportsmanship.
No,
well done.
They definitely played, I think, the best team. Hands down, the best team. There's no second question. There's no two questions about it. And
but
we would have loved to see them. I mean, as a sports fan, as a football fan, not as a Manchester United fan, as a sports fan, as a, to see them live the title after I think 20-30 years now. I think
more than 30 years.
Yeah, more than 30 years now. Yeah. So I think that would be a beautiful sight. As maybe.
Guys, miracles do happen for sure. I am sure that we may see them still lift the trophy. Let's hope for the best, guys, because at the end of the day, all of this coronavirus, conundrum is kind of taking out the positive out of us and putting in the negative. So let's hope for positive. Let's hope for things to get better from here on. That's what I'd say.
Right. And I guess some good news, Bundesliga may open up in the first or second week of May. So some consolation
will also open up.
Right, some consolation there. So guys, आपके questions भेजते रहिए. We'll get to the questions in a short while. But firstly, over to Mr. Sen. To you, sir.
Thank you, Samant. Namaskar. Welcome to the show and all the regular viewers and the new ones as well. And it's a lovely topic, if I may say so. And there was this question that has been going around that, sports is such a field that in India, it is not considered to be a career unless, unless you play cricket,
That's very true, sir.
which I, which I do believe is a shame.
It is, sir.
Right. Now, because I can see, and I've returned to India after a long time, and what I do see is lots of parents invest on young kids and force them to go and play cricket, even though the guy does not want to play cricket.
True.
It's like, forcing the guy to do engineering when the guy doesn't want to do engineering. So how do you guys tackle that? And
Sir,
I just want to add something else, and this is a discussion you had just a few seconds back. Here we are in India, sitting in different parts of India, and what were we discussing? We are discussing the Premier League, Liverpool, Manchester United. Nothing to do with us.
True.
So why is it like that? Questions
Sir,
for both of you.
Yeah, so there are many factors to, again, I like to only see the positive aspect of life. I would not want to say there are many factors to blame. I'd rather say there are many factors because of which we've not achieved what you are talking about. We're not talking about East Bengal, Mohun Bagan. We're not talking about a Minerva Punjab pulling off a fairy tale. We're not talking about Aizawl FC pulling off a fairy tale. We're not. So the era that we live in right now is all TV based, in my opinion. जो TV पे दिखता है वो बिकता है, sadly. We've got stalwarts of the game from Chunni Goswami Saab to PK Banerjee Saab to Baichung Bhutia to Sunil Chetri, right? We still have to idolize Paolo Maldini and Steven Gerrard, sadly. Again, because we've not seen them play. We've not seen their greatness. We haven't. And we, together as a society, as the government, have not taken enough steps to build on the heritage that we have. We've been Olympic champions in various sports. Hockey was our main sport. We would beat others silly. But sadly, abhi hockey सिर्फ पंजाब केरला वगैरह के कुछ regions में खेला जाता है because government job मिल जाती है, sadly. उस sport को sport के लिए नहीं खेलते. That's how. But again, things are improving. I'd say we've got the Indian Kabaddi League, the Badminton League, the Table Tennis League, the Tennis League. We just need consistent resources to strengthen the fan base of every single sport. And when the question comes to us as to what sport should my child play, we somehow address it a little differently. We say, Kiji, make the child play two sports. One, a team sport, choose between cricket, football, whatever, and one, an individual sport to develop the ethos of a complete sportsman or a sportsman. So at least this way, we have improved the odds of that child playing only one sport to a child playing two sports. So that is what we do. And we would request all coaches, all adults to allow children up till the age of 12 to have a stint at every sport. They will only learn. It is not that they will not learn. That's what we
say. Raghav is not there, it seems. Okay.
Raghav is there, sir.
Is there?
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah.
Hi. What is your take on this? I couldn't see your face. Okay. Because you have been closer to the ground as a coach and so on and so forth. So what's your take?
See, when I think a lot of things were covered by Varun sir, and what I would like to add is that with the approach that we take, it's we are looking at a long-term picture when it comes to us advising students and coaches to let their students have a freedom one major point that I think regarding this is that we are inculcating a culture for sports, whether it's football, whether it's cricket, whether it's tennis, that does not matter. Right now, people are, obviously, generations have been following cricket. That's why, everybody would know about cricket, but nobody knows about the other sports. So, if when I am like I'm like a 4-year-old child and I start following football, I take that, I carry that with the rest of my life, and then I pass it on to my children. So, my children will also accordingly, see that, football is also there, tennis is also there, table tennis is also there, and that's why we see a lot of young players coming up and, winning medals for India, and they are doing it in those sports which were never heard of. And one other example to, just to support this ideology is that, I'm sure we'll all agree that when we were kids, everybody in the parks near to our places were, cricket was the main sport. But now you don't see cricket. It's changed, and it's moving to either football or individual games like tennis or badminton. And parents, because they have also had an education about this, and seeing the leagues coming up, it is affecting, the mindsets of a lot of parents and a lot of children that there is a future. So, and we as a company, we want to make sure that, we help out, as we said in the first question, that we want to help out, to reach out everyone and bridge that gap and make sure that the deserved ones achieve their dreams.
Sir, on that note, if you can think about it, both football and cricket in India have had similar timelines. We started playing in the early 40s, gained prominence in the 50s and 60s. But somewhat sadly, football lost its sheen in the 70s and 80s, whereas India went on to become world champions in 83. That pushed cricket to the pinnacle, TV rights, sponsorship, all of that put together. Sadly, football में नहीं हुआ. जबकि both of us, or rather all of us, can understand that every sport has its own respect. We are not against cricket. We are die-hard fans of Sachin Tendulkar, MS Dhoni, Virat Kohli. They are like true champions of the game. And the Indian team, the kind of standards it has set on the field today, phenomenal. But then again, we all collectively, as a society, as the government, as a federation, have to actually think long term and strengthen ourselves to that effect, wherein world champions in every sport come from India. That's what the sports company is working towards. That is our long term vision. That's how it is.
That's your why. That's your why. That's brilliant, and I love that why.
Thank you, sir.
And then now that takes me to a second, a related question. As Varun said, in the 40s and 50s, yeah, we were there. Actually, earlier than that, football used to be perhaps the most popular sport that we had, and we had perhaps the greatest moment in Indian football a century ago, maybe somewhere around that. That's when Mohan Bagan won the IFA Shield, which was the first time a non-British and Indian team won it.
True, sir.
And having said that, 1952 was the last Olympics, if I'm not wrong, where India qualified.
Fourth position.
Yeah, 52 football. Yes, and I was lucky and privileged to have as my game teacher and coach Chandan Singh Rawat, who was a member of that team.
Right, sir.
And so we learned a lot about life, more than football, from him. In life, what sports teaches you, no management school can teach you. No engineering can even get close to that.
True, sir.
Sports teaches you every time you're down, you're knocked down on the ground, how you get up and take the fight back.
True, sir.
So now, why is that not being inculcated in the schools?
Sir, we've become too soft now. As parents, as coaches, we are not pushing that extra mile button in our bodies because we fear something horribly wrong will go on. That's we live in fear. This society lives in fear. Again, not to blame anyone, the times are such. As I said, कि एक समय होता था कि जाओ धूप में खेलो, प्लेयर बनोगे. बेटे अब तो सनस्क्रीन लगा के जाओ क्योंकि धूप में नहीं खेलना.
और उसके बाद चिकन नगेट्स भी मिलते हैं.
Exactly. I have seen brilliant kids at school level play, but they're getting ready to play is a match in itself. Sunblocks, sunscreens, all of that, deodorants. And I'm amazed somehow because there is a limit to what you can do, because if you're too harsh, suddenly there's a complaint against you, because the society that lives in fear advises you to reach out if someone is being harsh or angry with you. But please do judge for what reasons. That's what it is, sir. We as a society have to change. Sir, India में इतना talent है कि मैं आपको क्या बताऊं. There was this TEDx series that I was fortunate enough to do at the Shriram Millennium School. And I was thinking about my opening line, and till the start of that morning, I could not come up with. And trust me, at a red light near the school, I saw these lovely kids from Rajasthani background do cartwheels and flip through a small iron ring. And I knew what I had to say. And I went onto the stage and I just said that you give me the financial resources, I will give you an Olympic gold medal in gymnastics. Because India की सड़कों पे talent है. और इतना talent है कि we will be actually amazed. I feel the only country after the US that has done justice to this, albeit in a manner which I would not support, is China. China has started early in recognizing the potential of their children from as early an age as 3. However, the methods by which they are kind of cultivating them is not what I would recommend, but this is what we have to do. We have to scout. We have to have more intra-village tournaments. We have to have more intra-society tournaments. Sir, कौन कहाँ छुप के बैठा है नहीं पता, उसी को बाहर निकालना है. हम लोग, we've always been proud of the fact at the sports company that we work behind the scenes. We're very happy. We, of course, would love the respect of everyone because of our hard work in the times to come. But we rather do it behind and not on the TV screen. We want to find the next 16 Kshetris to play for the Indian national team. Right now, everyone is playing brilliantly. Every single member of the Indian team is phenomenal. But we are not finishing because we say, oh, Sunil is getting old. Oh, there's no striker other than Sunil. What are we doing to address that? What are we doing? We're not doing justice to that, sir. And again, I'm imploring that all stakeholders, corporates through their CSR, government, federation, coaching bodies, parents, thank you, Raghav, for saying that, schools, have to come together. We need to have an Olympic dream. We need to have a world champion dream in every sport, sir. Dan Lin is playing badminton for years, champion, but they have other people coming through the process and they're ready to take his mantle. Who in Indian badminton, sir? You have one of the finest coaching minds in Pullela Gopichand in the country. Finest. So we need to help him. We need to have more Pullela Gopichands. We need to have more coaches. So that is where sports management helps. If you feel that you're a better coach, become a coach. Pep Guardiola, better coach than a player. flop, better coach than a player. They realize that early. So again, so nothing is missing apart from processes and application of processes in Indian sports is what we feel.
And the processes are there. And the processes are there. That's what I feel. But it's just that we need to control the other, factors that are distracting and not letting us, achieve that. We face these issues with kids on a daily basis at the grassroots level. Sir, I have this tuition, I have to go study, I have my friend's birthday party, sir, I have a test tomorrow, and all that stuff. And these are like players we feel that they have the potential, even if they do not take up the sport as a professional. At least they'll still be somebody related to the sport, and they'll be giving out in some or the other way back to what the sport taught them.
So on that note, we have to have everyone thinking more onto the fact that agar main main player nahi ban saka, earning crores and crores of rupees, मैं एक बेहतरीन फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट बन के सेवा करूंगा उन प्लेयर्स की जो इंडिया के लिए खेले. Again, that national passion has to come together. There are few regions in India who are extremely passionate. Bengal, Kerala, Punjab. But India is not states. India is one country. That passion has to rise through the country and get hold of that. I'll be the best physiotherapist ever. I'll be the best team manager. I'll be the best media manager. I will ensure that the security of the team is to that level कि मेरे players सुरक्षित feel करें, कोई उनको touch ना करे, hobnob ना करे, and they can focus on the game. I'll be the best coach. I'll be the best assistant coach. I'll be the best mental coach. There are so many options that sports gives. लेकिन हमें problem है कि हमें तेंदुलकर बनना है सर सबने. वो नहीं हो सकता. Gary Kirsten भी बनो ना. It's like that. कुछ तो देखो.
It is.
Bharat Arun भी बनो. A lot of people don't even know about him, but he's doing such a great job.
It is.
It's like that. That's what we feel.
It is. And now that brings me to the other sort of a question, and you articulated it very well. See, at the end of the day, and I'm a parent, as you can see from my face, I'm a parent. At the end of the day, I am inspired by this poem, by Khalil Gibran, who says, your children are not your children. They're just there for you to take care of for a certain time. They're the children of life.
True.
And what are we as a parent doing is we're just making them ready for life. Unfortunately, what we do is we end up directing the child into something which we wanted to do and never could.
True, sir. True.
And I think therein lies the problem. Because what we do not have, and that is something, and I want your views on this, what we do not have is the universities, the colleges, the good schools, they do not have a place for a sportsman or a sportswoman.
Sir, they do not have the place for a winning mentality. They
said it.
Yes, I'll tell you why, sir. I'll give you an example for this. So the sports company also proudly does a baby league concept for the past 6 odd years, wherein different kids play with their teammates from school or society and all come together and play. So series of matches spread over 3 months. अभी हाल ही में एक पेरेंट ने हमारे अगेंस्ट में कंप्लेन करी हमारे फेसबुक पेज पे कि आप लोग बायस्ड हैं, आप लोग चीटर्स हैं. वो क्यों? क्योंकि उनके सुपुत्र ने 30 गोल मारे इस पूरे टूर्नामेंट में और वो टॉप स्कोरर का अवार्ड लेके गया, लेकिन उसको बेस्ट प्लेयर ऑफ द लीग नहीं मिला क्योंकि एज द judging body of coaches, referees, me and Raghav, we have always decided that please see someone who's the most important cog in the wheel, जिसकी वजह से टीम चलती है. we awarded this young boy from another team who's a midfielder. He did not have even one goal to his credit. But the way he held his team won every single match. He was the calming factor. खेलने आता था, खेलता था, जीत के जाता था, हार के जाता था, लेकिन सीधा जाता था, सिखा के जाता था. इस पेरेंट को हमने कोशिश करी समझाने की कि सर कल आपका बच्चा इंडियन टीम में सेलेक्ट नहीं होगा तो इंडियन टीम तो बहुत खराब है आपके लिए ना, फिर तो कोचेस ही बायस्ड है, राइट, स्ट्रक्चर ही खराब है. सर अपनी थिंकिंग चेंज कीजिए. आपका बेटा बहुत टैलेंटेड है, वो अपनी जगह बनाएगा, लेकिन दूसरे को भी शाबाशी दीजिए जो इतनी मेहनत कर रहा है. Ultimate result is to play for the country, play for the Indian jersey, and play to the best of your ability. That is the dream that every one of us should dream. That is the winning mentality that we should have, that everything that we do is in service to the motherland. Our armed forces, they have my respect. They do their duty every single day, but why cannot we as ordinary citizens do the same in our daily lives? Why cannot we serve the country with this winning mentality कि आज मैं हारूंगा, कल मैं जीतूंगा, परसों मेरा देश जीतेगा? Why cannot parents think like that? That is what we have to change, sir. That is what we have to change. Schools, colleges, societies, clubs, all of them have to come together कि कुछ नहीं होता दोस्त, हारोगे सीखोगे. यहाँ पे तो हारने पे सर रेफरी को मारना चालू कर देते हैं. ये रेफरी ने पैसे खाए हैं. Sadly, that's the state of the game at the grassroots level. That's why I'm saying, sir, we have to change everything at the grassroots level. More of inter-village tournaments, more of inter-society tournaments, more of this workshop with such stalwarts who have led Indian sports for decades. Sachin Tendulkar Sahab has to come down to the streets and explain why he became the greatest. You know, he has to. All of them will have to. If we have to be the number one nation in sports, and which I feel we can, sir, not because of our population, but because of our never say die attitude for the wrong reasons. You know, it's like that.
In spite of our population, I would say.
Yeah, actually. हम लोग गलत चीजों में never say die attitude बोलते हैं. Not.
Now, I want to come to a very different story. Sorry, Raghav, I'll get back to you. Now, I've noticed, and all of us have noticed, that the girl child or the girl sportswoman has done India proud. And you have so many examples of them, one after the other. How come they do so well in our patriarchal society? And they do it. And we have examples right there in front of us. And our men sort of do not. What is your take on that?
Sir, it's the mentality of the gender. Women are far more stronger than men. And I say that very proudly. I have been raised by a strong mother. I'm married to a brilliantly strong woman. I have coached brilliant, strong young girls who do not give up. Unke saath hai ki beta, we have to do this. It will be a drain on your strength. They smile at me and say, Coach, come on. That is silly stuff. Bring something harder. If I say this to the boys, but say, Coach, we need a different coach. Off you go. It's the inherent mental strength of the girl child. I'm being very honest about that. There is no lack of competition there, sir. Every single girl child that plays against each other plays to the best of their ability. But उनकी टकरार उस लेवल पे होती है कि वो लेवल ही हमसे बहुत अलग है. But we are really not doing much to kind
promote
of
them, take them forward.
Yeah.
They can actually.
Sorry.
Yeah, no.
I just wanted to add that we could have easily won the Women's World Cup this year, wherein we lost.
Yep.
Just if we had a women's IPL going on. That's all.
Yeah,
That's
I know
it.
that. I know.
आप women's IPL start कर दीजिए. Let the girls have as much exposure as the boys. I promise you, next World Cup is ours. 100%.
I quite agree with you. And my question to you now is football, soccer,
So,
as they say, women's soccer. What's the future of that in India?
Better than the men's football for sure.
Oh, that's
Right.
okay. Raghav, you go. That's for you then. Okay.
No, so I think women's football has taken a lot of learning from what our federation has been trying to do for the men's football, and I still feel that there's a lot of work to be done, but at such a level, we are one of the few countries that has a league, even though it's not run the way it should be, but then we have a league. We have players coming in from different parts of the country, and they're doing really really well. And I also feel that girls or women, they have uh, you know a fighting quality. I don't know the exact correct word for it,
I
but
think
they have
Varun said it very well. Okay.
yeah. So they do that in a better way. So girls football, I think our bets also have been that tomorrow, if we can get into or venture out into women's football, or start something that is related to women, we'll end up having more female representatives being champions of India, be it at any stage. So that is how I would like to conclude it. And this is right now only for football and cricket and some individual sports, but then not sure whether it's happening all across all the sports or not.
उसका एक और example है sir कि if you have at the school level 12 tournaments in a year for the boys team, you have 2 tournaments for the girls only. You have to have more tournaments in comparison, or equal number of tournaments. जितना खेलोगे उतना exposure मिलेगा. Indian team को भी, federation को भी, if they can through their resources arrange for exposure tournaments. Do not have expectations other than learning. There has to be a learning curve to everything. All right. Get them at the ages of 12. Start giving them international exposure. Have a good domestic circuit. Have a good state circuit, devoid of politics, with all due respect. Let anyone who wishes to come and play. Why don't we have 2 systems, a feeder system and a main system? If you feel that the child is physically not capable to perform at the top level, have a lower league, the minor league kind of a thing, wherein the fact is that you have to respect that they've come to play. आए हैं खेलने, उनको खेलने दो. Probably over a period of time with playing and right coaching, they may graduate to the major league. So the US system of the minor and the major leagues actually works brilliant.
And to add on to this, during our baby leagues, we have made it a uniform platform for the girls and the boys to play together. We did not want to differentiate between girls and boys, and in fact, out of the 4 or 5 editions that we have done, 3 best player awards have been given out to girls, just to motivate them, because there's just one girl in each team that is playing right now. So if that one girl and they together can bring up a team together and they can play, that sends out a strong statement. This is something that we cannot do alone. We need the whole country, and we need the bigger powerhouses to help us out on this. Only then we'll be able to change this. But we are doing as much as we can at our level.
So
Thank you
those
so
girls
much.
are agents of change.
Yeah.
You'll
Thank you
understand
so
that
much.
better.
That's why I asked you questions on change. Anyway, Samant, I'm sorry for taking up such a long time, but go ahead.
No. मैं सोच रहा था like I always say, जब discussion अच्छा चल रहा है, I don't care about the time. I just sit back and enjoy the discussion. I'm just a participant. I'm no longer the host. I'm a participant who's listening to what they have to say.
But I'm sure you have not gone through the audience questions and comments.
There are a few, but one thing I would like to bring up because ये female athletes का या फिर the side of that argument did come up. एक chain, it's a circle, like it's a chain link. You say, why is female sports not growing? Okay, they're not good players. Why are they not good players? They are not good academies. Okay, why are they not good academies? The government is not supporting. तो support करो ना भाई. To start it at the grassroots level, then you will see the effect it as a chain. Long term, definitely.
There you go. There you go. There you
And
go.
and when you have good players, people will watch, and there's more revenue. And if you look at the business side of things, more revenue means more advertisements, more everything. It's a simple chain link.
As I said to you guys, जो मैंने आपके साथ example share किया था अपने TEDx की talk पे, there are so many stories to be told. There are so many stories. All you have to do is find them, nurture them, and show it to the world. Like Sir is a agent of change. Those girls who won the best player award at the baby leagues by the sports company, they are agents of change. You will find multiple agents of change changing our country and our philosophy for
single-handedly.
Hands
They're
down.
doing it single-handedly.
Doing a good job, guys.
Great. So इसको थोड़ा मैं I'll bring back to career क्योंकि प्रोबनो का तो career guidance है ही. So I'll sort of kick it back to career में. वरुण जी आपने बताया कि sports is not just about the athlete. Athlete is the face and the performance definitely. लेकिन एक athlete के पीछे there are hundreds of people working on that athlete. So would you like to obviously जो हम देखते हैं athlete और coach जो कि पिच पे दिखते हैं, जो कि कैमरा में आते हैं, लाइमलाइट दे के, कोच को इतना भी नहीं लेकिन बट दे डू गेट सम लाइमलाइट. सो आप बता सकते हो कि व्हाट आर द पेरिफेरल कैरियर्स एक एथलीट के अराउंड, क्या क्या पेरिफेरल कैरियर्स हो सकता है?
You've got team managers, you've got media managers, you've got fitness managers, fitness coaches, you've got
dietitian, nutritionist,
physiotherapist. You've got so many. आज ही शायद Times of India के article में था कि to have a match in the English Premier League, you need at least 300 people on the pitches. And they're not just athletes. खेलने वाले तो 11 खिलाड़ी हैं, 22 को हो गए, बाकी कौन है? So again, you've got sports ushers, you've got stadium managers, you've got multiple roles to essay. And again, मैं आपको बताता हूँ, why सर का क्वेश्चन का जो एक और पार्ट है आंसर का, वो ये है कि हम लोग इंडिया में स्पोर्ट्स की बातें क्यों नहीं करते ज्यादा, ईस्ट बंगाल मोहन बगान की, और वी टॉक अबाउट लिवरपूल और मैन यूनाइटेड एंड एसी मिलान. उसका रीजन ये है दैट देयर पैशन एट बीइंग एन अशर इन द स्टेडियम is equivalent to Paolo Maldini lifting the UEFA Champions League trophy.
Yep,
That is the difference. जो मैं आप लोगों के साथ शेयर कर रहा था कि जो हम सब सोचते हैं कि एज अ कंट्री, नॉट एज अ स्टेट, आई रिप्रेजेंट पंजाब, आई रिप्रेजेंट दिल्ली, जिस दिन जेन्युइनली आई रिप्रेजेंट इंडिया हो जाएगा ना, वो पैशन विल ट्रिकल डाउन टू द स्मॉलेस्ट ऑफ जॉब्स इन दैट ओपिनियन. Sadly, there's no small job. Every job is as important. जो स्टेडियम को साफ करते हैं सफाई कर्मचारी after the match is over, they are as passionate as the players because they are getting the stadium ready for the next match. But sadly उनको कोई recognize नहीं करता दोस्त. लेकिन बाहर हम उन्हीं के साथ, जो सफाई कर्मचारी, उनके साथ हम प्राउडली पिक्चर खिंचवाएंगे क्योंकि उन्होंने बहुत प्राउडली मैन यूनाइटेड या लिवरपूल या एसी मिलान की टी शर्ट पहनी है. ओ यू नो व्हाट, हाउ कूल इज दैट. अरे दोस्त, अपने लोगों को इज्जत दो, उनको डिफरेंशिएट मत करो कि तू नॉर्थ ईस्ट से है, तू पंजाब से है, तू केरला से. जेन्युइनली दिस थिंग हैज टू बी देयर. वी ऑल हैव टू बी इंडियंस फर्स्ट.
And I think emotions play an important part. पूरी दुनिया इमोशन से ही कनेक्ट होती है. So अगर कल को मैं लिवरपूल यूनाइटेड को इंडिया में खिला दूंगा, then we'll be talking about Indian football. अगर हम लिवरपूल वर्सेस इंडिया करा देंगे, then people will also know about Indian football. So it's not that it's happening in UK or it cannot happen in India. It's just the emotion, the atmosphere that it creates, that we connect with.
In fact, on sports, the two of you have actually captured one movie, which is Chak De India, which I believe is Shah Rukh Khan's greatest role ever played. And the way he did, and he said, "You're playing for India. You're not playing for Punjab."
True, sir. That is actually true. And trust me, if that happens at every single grassroots stage, that's what Raghav was saying. TT maybe you mold the child to play for the country, not for the club or the state. You will see a different performance. If you have competition for the place on the Indian national team for any sport, we would be the toughest people to beat. we have so much competition within ourselves. We don't know. We've got embarrassment of riches, as they say. Like Indian cricket team is one of the strongest contenders today because they built up their bench strength.
Yep.
That's what we have to do for other sports as well.
Yep. I think the turning point of Indian cricket was democratizing the cricket in India.
True, sir. I agree, sir. I totally agree.
एंड वन थिंग, एक चीज़ तो बोल सकते हैं कि अगर इंडिया के इंजीनियर्स को ही ले ले तो दैट अलोन इज वुड बी वन ऑफ द बेस्ट टीम्स एवर. Just adding that down there. Or like you said, the passion is always there. Indians का passion है. When Messi came to play in India, people forgot that they were Indian for a day. They were like, भाई आज तो अर्जेंटीना में पैदा हुआ मैं.
सर इस पे मैं आपको बता दूं कि 2010 में जब ये मैच हुआ था तो मेरे को एक टिकट मिल गई थी और मैं फ्लाई डाउन किया था फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम टू कैलकाटा. और इट वाज द होल ऑफ कैल वर इन अर्जेंटीनियन कलर्स. और वेनेजुएला तो बेचारे डर गए थे क्योंकि वो तो 16 या 32 लोग ही थे. दे केम टू प्ले अगेंस्ट द कंट्री. इट वाज लाइक दैट. But again, sir, the passion of Calcutta has to be matched by the passion of Delhi, by the passion of Kerala, the passion of Bhopal. Why only Cal? I respect every single passionate human being. Why cannot India together as one entity be passionate about its sports for a change? We as sportsmen, sportswomen would genuinely be up there as, agents of change to bring about a better world. Coronavirus has brought out a lot of positives in human beings which were missing for a long time. This is what we should have done before. We should have brought out the positive in us about sports as an entity or as an agent of change for us to play together. That's what I'd say.
Agreed.
Great. वैसे अभी if you don't mind, let's just take it up to 1 hour 30 minutes. Aditya, I realize you have much of work, so definitely if you want to drop off, nobody will hold it against you. Just leaving that option out there for you. We understand the issue right now. Lekin I think the conversation is...
Aditya has already texted someone saying that I may be 5-10 minutes late.
Sorry,
I've done that.
See, I know it. I knew it. He's already done
When we
it.
start talking about sports,
right now.
yeah. Sorry about that, buddy.
No, okay. थोड़े I'll just get to the audience question क्योंकि I think audience को बहुत wait करा लिया आज. So let me see. Firstly, Anita ji, who's a regular on our show, on our podcast, so she says it's a comment. I'm very happy to see you because this is very much needed to reach every corner of the country. Both my brothers were very good at playing volleyball. They managed to play at a state level, but then they left due to lack of family support, right decision, and they opted other career because nobody was sure it would be a career for survival. Great work, keep it up.
Thank you, Anita ji. Okay. Now we request you and your brothers to ensure that you do not do the same with your children. Support them with any and every means, and trust me, we will have more people following up sports in your family only.
Great. There's a question by Saket Chaudhary, मेरा भाई है. He is doing sports management from IFAA, जो कि Indian Football Association. So it was supposed to start, by the way, because of the virus. वो first year है, they're still testing out. But I hope he does it because even I'm excited for him. Like he's doing something different that you don't hear every day. So his question is,
kudos to him.
Right, and just all the best. And the one thing we learned to, one more career option that we're trying to explore to every student, as ProBano does counseling to students. He says, what are your views on the merger of I-League and ISL, considering the pushback of age-old clubs that are currently playing in the I-League? I guess Raghav would better answer this, maybe. आपसे सुनना चाहते हैं.
It's not like that. So I have my viewpoint, and I'm very, very sure that sir will have a different one on that. I think a merger, it was needed, I think, and I this might sound not pleasing to a lot of people, but the way the clubs before this were running, it was not the ideal situation for people who were actually a part of it. To the outside world, it looked really, really good that, okay, yes, Mohan Bagan is doing really well, East Bengal is doing really well. And sorry, I am not intending to name out any particular club, but the people inside it, they knew that there's scope of better management of everything so that better results can be given. So when ISL came in, obviously the money they spent, that was something that was not required, because again, football, if I have to play, it's not a mandatory that I need to have money to play football or to make people play football, or anybody to watch football does not mean that he has to have money to play football. But what they brought in was the professionalism that was required. The people who came in with their experiences from different parts of the world and playing at the highest levels, that was important. And they also brought in a better vision of how to run it more economically and sustain. A lot of examples have been there in the past.
That's the key word there, guys. That's the key word. What Raghav is trying to make a point on is sustainability. Just to add to what Raghav is saying is that हमारे सारे Indian clubs legacy clubs हैं, but sadly due to lack of sustainability they closed down. JCT Fagwara was one of the best clubs to ever, but they closed down. Mohan Bagan, East Bengal, respect to them, every single person associated with them, they're legacy clubs. They have to keep their legacy going on. And for that, if this merger is required, so be it. Probably the sooner, exactly.
The sooner we accept it, it's better for us.
The only thing that could have been better, in my opinion, again, we are talking about different personal opinions. It does not reflect the opinion of the company. We could have added the, the promotion and demotion clauses.
I also
It's just that I understand from a business perspective that when the ISL idea was floated and the people who took a risk at that point in time with all the money that was spent, they were looking at a cushion of 10 years. I totally understand that. But if this change was to be brought about, there should have been some sustainability to the fact that promotion, relegation, hona chahiye. This is what makes the game so alive.
And to also give the credit to those clubs who have been the face of Indian football. So we cannot just, totally just throw them away and tell them that, okay, wrap up and out you go. We can't do that because they have been the face of India.
What ISL merger brings is getting the passion of an East Bengal, Mohan Bagan derby to the whole of India without any technical glitches, mainstream channel, and people will understand what the passion of the game is all about. So the merger, in our opinion, jointly is a good thing. But again, personally, we have different viewpoints. We again would respect every single club in the I-League and the ISL that has been playing. We did not ever mean to demean anyone. We're just taking names for people to better understand. And no one can understand better Indian football if we do not take Mohan Bagan and East Bengal name.
And also, if you look at it from the other side of it, I think with ISL coming in, with the I-League coming in, a lot of people who are running business houses and were inclined to sports might think of owning teams, and that only adds to the number of teams from different parts of the country. Nobody ever thought that this season I-League we'll have a team from Kashmir. Nobody ever thought that we'll have a team from Rajasthan. These are the states that, you don't relate football with them. But now those things have changed. So coming back to the whole point, if we need the country to feel the same emotional level, create the same atmosphere, we need to have clubs from every single state. And that might be achieved in the longer run. That's what I feel.
True.
Great. We'll take one last question. Before we wrap up, one last question. So I guess again bringing up the virus and the future of sports probably. Anita ji asks, how do you see sports future after COVID-19, as social distancing would be a major concern with us for a certain period of time. So how do you see sports in the future?
It's going to lead to an increase in digital viewership for sure. There will be lesser passionate people going to the stadium with the fear of sadly catching an infection. Sports will go on. There will be sports for sure, but there's going to be an alteration in the way we play and the way we see the sport. We'll see the sport probably on Hotstar more than in person. That's what we feel. And right now, for the foreseeable future, the next 6 months, sports, in my opinion, will be divided into fitness and sports. The next 6 months, everyone on their phones is going to be the fittest athlete ever. Yoga classes, kickboxing, and
Training
whatnot, training sessions online here. So you'll be fit. By the time you come out to play in the field, we're going to be a different nation altogether. So look for the positivity in the whole.
That's a great thought.
Thank you, sir.
Great. With that, आज का यही wrap up करते हैं. And just
Thank
a
you.
couple of things I would add कि I would say I think this was a quote, I don't know by whom, and paraphrasing, but vaguely I'm putting this forth. Being in a war and playing sports together, the two things that blossom the greatest of friendships.
True.
I think that's one thing. And with I would like to end on Raghav's quote: "A true champion does not need a trophy." With that being said, thank you everyone for coming to this podcast, the audience members for your questions and comments and insights, and of course Aditya, I think he's still here, he's listening. Aditya, Mr. Sen, thank you to you as well, and of course Varunji and Raghav, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for
Thank you
taking
for
time.
having us.
Thank you.
It
Exactly.
was
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah.
no, it's our pleasure, and it's been one of the best discussions I've had for quite a while, to be honest. And I do hope everybody gets inspired from this podcast. So guys, thank you. So guys, stay indoors, wash your hands, stay safe. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, 6 p.m. Do like and follow our page and turn on post notifications to get notified when we do go live. With that, take care now. Bye bye.
God bless. Thank you. Bye-bye.